isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's changed.
And the evening stream, it always records.
Yeah, it records on the day stream. It records, so it's set to auto-record every time I start streaming. Because what we do for the football show is we put it up as a podcast on like Spotify and iTunes afterwards. And if I don't put it to auto-record, I'll forget to record. So I'd rather turn on the recording and just delete them. But yeah, for some reason at the moment on the talk shows, the mic's going live the second I press the go live button, which is not normal. Which means that 10-second grace that we normally have where you can say whatever you want, Joe, we don't have it. So...
Less racism in my day.
Good afternoon, you wonderful human beings. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday afternoon here in the studio. We're going to talk about all things Warhammer. That's what we do here normally. There's not been loads that's come out since there's a couple of interesting things that come out since the weekend, since Friday's show, but not been loads. We'll talk about it. Specifically, a data card or a data sheet that's come out for one model and another model that's come out for another faction, which has got me quite excited. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us, please. Hit the like button, smash subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live in the future. And get behind us, support us if you want to. You guys were amazing last week. I'm very, very grateful. If you could continue to be amazing this week, I'd continue to be very, very grateful. Thank you so much. Straight off the bat, Mr. the Roland Bain, Joe, who raced in here with 10 gifted memberships right away.
That's very good, isn't it?
Yeah. You did it very good.
I hope every time you go shopping for the rest of the month, your favourite cake is like on mega discount on the till.
And if you want a similar type of Joe Hope, then all you've got to do is gift 5 or more members. But actually, to be fair, any kind of membership gifting is greatly appreciated, whether it's 1, 5, 10, 20. It's all appreciated. You're all amazing human beings. You can also become a member if you're a grey name and you're not a member of the channel already. It gives you extra access to areas in Discord. It's easy for me to say, as well as things like discounts, etc. And all the different tiers have different things, all the way up to Thanes and Aces, which get access to a WhatsApp chat so they can personally DM me and Joe dick pics. Get loads. Do you get loads? Just me.
None. I always like there's always like a story or a reason behind people's usernames.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you're seeing Grasping for Gingers.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the story there?
So there you go. What you can also do, if you've got opinions on anything we talk about in this show, is you can stick it on what YouTube calls a super chat. I hate the name. We call them postcards because they're big, colourful. You pay to send them and you write something on them. But YouTube calls them super chats. If you hit that $, that's where you get access to becoming a member, gifting memberships or super chatting. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. You can ask us any questions. You can talk about the topic we're talking about. You can put a random dad joke in there or a stupid fact that we would never know.
Or a dream you had.
Or the winning lottery numbers. For next week, not last week, because we all know those. So today, what I thought we would talk about, Jojo, and this is quite important for me because, or quite prevalent, I should say, for me, because what they did over the last 24 hours is they released Yarrick's new data card, and they released the new Orc Weird Boy model. And I think the Weird Boy model is fucking gorgeous.
I really like the wood bit, yeah.
I think Yarrick's model's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the data sheet looks decent. And because they've released...
His data sheet...
It's very good, isn't it?
Is mental.
It's very good, isn't it?
He might be like the first like guard character to go like above Field Marshal Dreer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, I think he's gonna outpoint Lord Solar as well by a long way.
He's gonna be at the moment, if his rules stay the same, which we're told they will until 11th edition. I think he's an auto take for every guard army, depending on his points, obviously. I think he's an auto take for every guard army. His data sheet's mad good, and actually, me personally, his model is one of the reasons why I was like, I really want to do guard because I had the old Yarrick with the little weird like scorpion crab claw.
I got one.
Have you?
Back at home.
I don't have one anymore, but I used to have him.
Ginger Steve bought a bunch. I got one. Lambo got one. Peachy got one.
Oh, I haven't got one.
Someone else got one.
Really sad.
Yeah.
And then I also had the metal version of the last one. They obviously made it into Finecast eventually. I never had the Finecast.
I had one in Finecast, which I turned into Kane.
Did you? And the model in general is just beautiful. And that's where I got, when I looked at the Orc Weird Boy, I looked at the feedback for the Orc Weird Boy. Everywhere I've seen, fucking gorgeous model. Everyone thinks he looks brilliant. Yeah. Right? And I've actually seen people going, that model could make me want to start orcs. Genuinely seen that in WhatsApp chats and stuff over the last 24 hours. And then I thought back to the stream we did last week where you and Tom talked about the new Vanguard vet and how Tom is massively underwhelmed by it. It's a bit boring. And it got me thinking, when you think about the new Guard transports, the new tanks, the Yarrick, etc., it got me thinking, have they for the one time done the wrong thing by making the launch box Armageddon and putting Space Marines in it instead of Guard? Would it have been more interesting and more fun, and maybe not quite so good for new starters, granted, but more interesting and more fun for Armageddon to have literally been Yarrick in his Guard versus the Orcs?
No. But
right.
I will elaborate.
Stream
done. Because it's a launch box. A launch box should always be an MSU army and a Horde army. That's what it always has been.
Okay.
One army with minimal models, super easy to paint. The other half generally tends to be quite Horde-y, a bit more harder to paint. So obviously last time was Space Marines Tyranids, and it was like Space Marines Necrons, but like even the same goes for Age of Sigmar now. Like it's always Stormcast, but it was like Skaven, Ghost People, and
Well, I mean, one of the things that got me thinking about this as well. I was on the phone yesterday to Games Workshop, putting in our pre-orders for this week. Obviously, this week, what goes on pre-order on Saturday is the City and whatever it is, City and Ash, whatever it's called.
City of Ash.
And Games Workshop were on the phone going, we're actually really excited about this box because it's one of the first times we've done a starter box and it hasn't included Stormcast. It's included Cities of Sigmar and Skaven. There's a lot of hype about it.
I've been saying for a while, my hope for the next edition, my hope for a while is they get rid of Stormcast as the poster boys and make it Cities of Sigmar.
Why? Interesting. Because so the reason why I asked, on the surface, right, Stormcast versus Skaven is very similar to Space Marines versus Orcs, in essence.
Yeah.
Right? So you've just said the launch box, and I know Spearhead isn't a launch box necessarily, but the launch box should always stay small MSU army with easy to paint, low numbers versus Horde army, right?
Yeah.
That's Stormcast versus Skaven. Their new Spearhead box, which is the starter box for Spearhead, which gives you 2 Spearheads in it, amongst other bits and bobs, they've come away from that first part, Stormcast, and they've gone to Cities, and they're not a small model count, easy to paint army. In fact, you said it yourself, Cities is one of the harder armies to paint because every model's like a fucking character.
With the new Knights on foot, you could arguably do a more smaller range.
Yeah.
Like a starter box is just Knights on foot. I think the problem... So in 40k, we're kind of like all sci-fi stuff. We're kind of conditioned for the genetically enhanced super soldiers, right? Like, or just absolutely fucking jacked. Like look at like Gears of War, Halo, Space Marine, right? It's all about big jack dudes fighting aliens. We've learned that throughout our life. That's cool. But I think in fantasy, we're more conditioned for how god-awful it is to be a human.
Okay.
So I think that
So you're thinking like Helm's Deep.
Yeah, how like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Humans struggling.
Right,
okay. Most medieval films, the main characters are always just normal humans. Whereas I think the problem, a lot of people struggle with Stormcast is they're just Space Marines in sexy boots, right? But they're also dead.
Sexy boots. I mean, yeah, okay.
Right, they're dead heroes that have been reincarnated, but it's much the sameness. Whereas I think in Age of Sigmar, Stormcast kind of rub people the wrong way.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, and I don't know why, because the models are great, but I've spoken to so many people that just do not like the Stormcast models.
It's really interesting because
don't like them as an army.
They are just fantasy Space Marines.
Yeah,
that's all they are, and people fucking love Space Marines.
But I think if you said to someone, but if you look at, obviously in the past, it used to be Empire, it used to be Warhammer Fantasy. So the goodies were always Empire, Bretonnians, dwarfs.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Very Lord of the Rings.
Very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
so I think Sigmar has the same problem. People were like, I want humans, dwarfs. You know? And I think you could probably make a really nice starter box of human versus dead people kind of thing.
It's an interesting concept. It's an interesting thought process that the reason why people like Space Marines in 40k but not Stormcast in AOS is because of current existing narrative and lore
Yeah.
from other franchises and other kind of things that's fed to
So
us.
we all do it though. We all watch a film and we go, I could build an army around this.
Yeah.
Or like I could build an army around this one scene. Like look at Space Marine 2 where they're fighting and Titus like picks up the banner and you're like, oh, I'd convert that model. I'd make that model. How can I build an army around this? It kind of expands. Like you watch any like World War II film and you're like, I want to do Guard now.
Yeah.
I want to do a Paris regiment.
Well, it's interesting because for me personally, in terms of what I prefer and what I like, I've always placed Guard above Space Marines. If we just go generic faction, right? There's obviously certain chapters that I fucking adore, but for me personally, if you said to me you can only ever play out of the two of these again in the future, you can't play both. You have to choose one, and you won't be able to play the other one ever again. I'd probably pick Guard. You'd probably pick Space Marines.
I'd probably pick Space Marines because I just love Space Marines.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't love Stormcast the same way because like the Spearhead magazines come out now, right? So you could basically just buy a unit for a tenner, essentially. So the Stormcast and the Skaven are the first two that are coming out. I'm just waiting for the magazine that has the prosecutors in it, the Birdmen. And I'm like, cool, I'll just buy 6 of those.
Yeah.
18. Because then I can just start an army. Because they're my favourite. The Stormcast people with wings, I think, are great. And I think Stormcast should lean more into that. Into people with wings. Because, like, there's nothing special about Stormcast when you look at them.
I think the first iteration I'd probably agree with you. I think the more recent iteration I really like. I think they got a lot better, got a lot sexier. They did essentially the same thing as what they've just recently done to Custodes.
Yeah.
They took these like squatty, kind of dumpy, kind of dull models, and they slimmed them down a bit and they made the proportions better. And
I think the problem is that when you look at a Stormcast, it's just a dude, right? Or a lady, you know? It's just a person in plate mail.
Oh, I love Stormcast.
Very basic. I know you can say the same about a Space Marine, but we've had 30 years of Space Marine narrative, right? It's just been pushed into us since we were kids. Whereas Stormcasts are new and fresh, and we've not had that kind of saturation of information on them. So when you look at them, you're like, it's just no model. But when you look at a Steelhelm, when you look at he's a Sigmar guy, it's someone who's basically been on the front lines fighting. But like the imagery is always just haggard, tired.
I just find it really, I don't
like,
disagree with you.
Yeah.
I just find it very interesting, the comparison. Because where I was going with it, someone said it in chat already. Raising Rune Lords says Yarok and Steel Legion versus Orcs would have been an amazing starter box, and that's where I was going. So I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I'm like, so logically that also converts to 40k?
I think it would make a great
Box.
launch box, like a box set. Like here's so Warlord does it, right? They go, here is Stalingrad. You have like generic German grenadiers and you have generic Russian infantry, and then you have a bunch of Stalingrad houses, right? And then they go, here is a bridge too far. Here's a British paratroopers. Here's Waffen SS kind of thing. And they take snapshots of World War II history and give you a narrative box set based around that. But it's not the launch box set. It's not the starter box set. I think Games Workshop could go, here's a launch box set with Yarrick, Guardsmen, like a command squad, a bunch of stuff. And then you have a starter box set, which is the Space Marines.
Yeah, I guess one of the problems which Astravale has said is it's a terrible new army for Guard. For new players, it's a terrible army.
We'll look at like Dan, right? Dan did Guard and he played a Beachhead, a couple of events. He played Paddy for like 6 months straight, and he was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't win games with it. I'm not enjoying myself. And nearly gave up until we kind of pressured him to carry on.
Which we did.
Right, which we did. But we started giving him different ways to play it and like suggesting other units to put into it. And he actually started, and then he did really, really well at Beachhead. He's really enjoying it. And I think that's not what you want for a new army. When you start playing Guard, it is a grind. You will lose the first 20 games, 50 games, right? You want a launch box army to be good and to be 50-50.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I always watch when the super chats come up specifically. We will say thank you to every single gifted membership. You'll get a hope if it's 5 or more, I promise you. We normally do it at the end. When I watch the super chats that come up, if they're relevant to what we're talking about, I'm going to get to them now, because often what happens is we end up getting to them at the end of the show and they end up not being relevant. So we're going to do it. I don't know how to say this. NN Krav said for $10, thank you for the $10. He says, I think everyone should own a Space Marine army of some flavour, as you always get love from Games Workshop. I have Aldari as his main army, Ultramarines, Votan, Drakari, and Thousand Suns. You agree with that though? Because if that's the case, then I guess the kind of argument's new.
I think everyone should own a Space Marine army because they're like a real palate cleanser of an army.
Yeah.
They kind of do everything. Space Marines, there's something for everyone. Depending on what you like. So, like, do you like Romans? Do you like Greek? Do you like
Vikings?
Vikings?
Vampires.
Do you like vampires? Like,
Yeah.
there is something for everyone. You could do all the other armies, right? But you'll always have something to buy, right? To use it. And I think being good with Space Marines means that you can be good with most armies as well.
Does it happen? Yeah, maybe.
So middle of the road.
I don't 100% disagree with the sentiment, but I also know a fair few people that just hate all things Space Marine. I know people that just won't buy an Imperium army. I'm just about Xenos. I'm just about Chaos. I think that's okay.
Oh yeah,
I do think that's
it's
fine.
Different vibes.
But I do take
vibes.
the point. If you own a Space Marine army, specifically if you own something that's has the ability to be slightly generic, then you will always get love from GW because they are always going to be releasing Space Marine stuff. But then when I say they're always going to be releasing Space Marine stuff, that brings me on to this next point that Tay has chucked in at us for $5. He says they picked the wrong everything for 11th. The narrative should be moving forward, not rehashing the same old location and war. And I think it's quite interesting with what's going on with them at the moment, specifically with Space Marines, because Vanguard vets, although I didn't see the stream last week because you and Tom did it, I don't know where either of you fell on that. I personally think the new Vanguard vet looks really nice.
I like it.
I'd need to see a unit of 5. With everything you've just said, easy to pick up, easy to paint, a real palette cleanser, I think that model hits the mark.
Yeah.
He's fancy enough to be a Vanguard and not an Assault Intercessor.
Yeah.
He's slightly fancy than an Assault Intercessor, which is what a Vanguard vet is.
Like, this is the launch box, yes, but not all the models, but 70% of the models from the launch box go into the starter box sets, right?
They do, yeah.
Starter box sets have to have easy models in it to paint. If you go, here's a Vanguard vet, he's got a fancy hat, loads of tabards, loads of shit all over him.
80 million purity seals.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't want to paint that. Like, as a new person, that's quite a daunting thing to do.
Yeah. I can see that.
You don't want the starter box stuff to be hard to do. Also, making them generic enough, they can go into any army. Like I said, if you gave them a massive cloak and a massive robes, they wouldn't be able to fly for a start, right? Because they've got this stuff. But like, you couldn't put a guy who's head to toe in robes with a jump pack into like Iron Hands or Raven Guard.
Also, at the same time, this is starter box Vanguard vets.
Yeah.
So they're probably push fit, and there'll be a multi-part kit. And I didn't hate the Stern Guard in Leviathan. I thought they were okay. But the Stern Guard in the multi-part kit pissed all over the push fits.
So DJ Zadok says the reason Space Marines cater for everyone is because they receive the most attention. If Odari had the same amount of attention, then we'd be saying Eldar cater for everything. So I disagree. Space Marines have the most amount of attention from the player base, and Games Workshop reciprocates that by giving you more Space Marines. Because when the Eldar launch came out, right, Eldar got a lot of stuff.
Over the course of the last
10th edition Eldar have basically received an entirely new army.
if you add in the Corsair stuff, yeah. 100%.
But none of it ever sells out.
No.
So if it was selling out
Little Psycho Lady was hard to get older for a while, but yeah, otherwise you're right.
Like the Corsair launch box never sold out. Like it's still available on the Games Workshop website. Like when I looked like last week.
Yeah, and for example, the Custodes launch box
So immediately
sold out fucking immediately. We can't get hold of anymore.
Yeah. So talking to Josh, obviously I'm very good friends with Mr. the War Hipster. His worst performing videos are the how to paint any of the Aspect Warriors.
Yeah.
That got launched. The one for Web Lady, Lycus, did incredible. Did amazing.
Because she's brand new.
Yeah, because she's brand new. She's super exciting. The rest of the stuff, nothing really. I think, and you got to look at it the same way as like, we have a Space Marine game, not an Eldar game. We have a like Dawn of War, which is really well because the main people in it are Space Marines. When you look at the phone games, they've got computer games. They've got an AdMech game. It's not very popular. I mean, it sells, it does well, but it's not as popular as Space Marine.
Well, ultimately, that's why Space Marines are in the launch box because they do just sell.
Yeah.
But it's interesting whether you can think about the old chicken and egg situation. What comes first? The love from Space Marines from the community, and therefore Games Workshop push it, or the love from Space Marines from Games Workshop that push it, and therefore the community goes, well, we'll buy into it then. And it's hard. Like I kind of get, so I see where you're coming from, and I kind of get it. Like if the community goes mad for Space Marines, Games Workshop are going to make more Space Marines. They're going to make Space Marine franchise products, whether that's video games or whatever. But I also think that Space Marines are so quintessentially Games Workshop now. They're so like obviously their product. I don't know if I think that it's the community driving the engagement from them. I think maybe they are doing some of that themselves because they go, this is us. When you go into Warhammer World, there's a fucking giant Space Marine now in there. There was always the old Space Marine statue outside the front of the building.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think the community are driving that or if I think Games Workshop are driving that. And I do, as a person who has never really mained Space Marines, I've mained Eldar for most of my Warhammer playing career, if you would call it a career. It has, on occasion for me, rubbed me up the wrong way when you see, oh, more Space Marine releases. Oh, cool, more Space Marine releases. Oh, good, what we definitely needed after we primarisified Calgar is another fucking Calgar. And I did get a bit, I mean, don't get me wrong, as an Eldar player, I'm not complaining. I think that the releases we had recently were fucking wild good. Yeah. And actually, the Aspect Warriors kind of disproved you slightly because most of it did stay sold out for a little while. Warp Spiders were really hard to get hold of. And so were Fire Dragons, but that was more
akin... because their rules are broken.
Because they were fucking butts of shit, yeah, absolutely. And so everybody wanted fucking 20 to 30 Fire Dragons in their army. So I'm not necessarily complaining too much, but that's because of the last 24 months. Before that, I'm like, cool, we're going to get any kind of other update? We've had Jane and the Banshees, and we've got these... And you go through phases, and this is what bugs me. When you get into tournaments and stuff, so I always go for a weird cycle, right? When a new edition launches, you've probably noticed this, when a new edition launches, I'm actually really keen on events and I'm happy to go to tournaments. And for the first year of that new edition, I enjoy tournaments. For the second year of that edition, I'll go to a couple, not really bothered. By the time the third year hits, I'm done and I'm not interested anymore.
And you're an advocate for making editions 5 years long. You'll be out of the hobby by the fourth.
Well, yeah, quit. Got to do playing something different. The thing is, I think if you make the edition 5 years long and you slow the release rate down for armies, but you increase the release rate for different supplements, I think you could keep it interesting. I think that. I'm not Games Workshop. They probably know better than I do, right? But that's my cycle. That's how that works. And whenever I get into the first part of that year and I'm into it and I'm into competitive Warhammer, as an Eldar player back then, you'd look at it and you go, what's really good? Warp Spiders are really good. Derpy fucking Finecast models. So then I spent ages sourcing like complete, because I won't take copies, but finding 3D sculpts that were proxies that would be close enough to Warp Spiders to use it. Because I just couldn't stand to buy boxes of Finecast fucking Warp Spiders just because they were good.
Yeah.
And I felt like in 2022 or whenever it was, that just wasn't, or 2023, that wasn't a good place for any fucking faction to be still buying Finecast stuff. And then you look over at your Space Marine player who's got a fucking 100% plastic army that was all released within the last 24 months. You're like, bastard. So I kind of get people being pissed off about it, but
I think like there's going to be gaps in like a lot of ranges. Like I think everyone's quite individual. Someone said like, oh, I didn't like the new Eldar stuff. I'm like, but you did get it. But you can't. But like, But everything that Games Workshop releases in for everyone. Look at T-shirt launchers. They were horrible models, but they sold a load because their rules were
Yeah,
broken.
that's the case, isn't it?
But I don't.
Right. Someone just jumped in your cup.
So aggravated. But I think like I'm excited for new guard release, but like I want the new kill team. Like now they're coming. I couldn't give a list of a shit about Krieg. They're all boxed up, ready to come in.
All right, I'll have them.
I was going to give them to you because
I'll take them.
I want the Rogel Dawn
Okay, you can have that. That's fine.
for the Catachans.
That's fine.
It's not Catachans, not Catatan, basically.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have that.
Um,
I can buy more.
I'm just like about. So I'm excited for the new guard tanks, the new guard kill team. Very excited for. I'm just kind of happy just to sit on my Valhallans until something kind of comes along. I think also one of the big problems about putting guard in a starter box set is that starter box sets tend to be between 750 and 1,000 points, right?
Yeah, which would be a lot of guard.
It's a lot. Unless you're putting in a Rogel Dawn.
Yeah.
Even if you put in a Rogel Dawn, right, you still have to fill out 750 points of guard.
Have they ever, in recent times, have they released a launch box that hasn't been 100% new models? I don't think they have. Leviathan was all brand new. Pariah Nexus was all brand new. What was
in Pariah Nexus?
Pariah Nexus was Necron, so you had the Scorpec.
Yeah, but Necron Warriors was a resculpt, wasn't it?
It was a resculpt, but new models,
Yeah.
still new models. You had the Necron Warriors, the Scarabs, you had the Scorpec Destroyers, the Scorpec Lord. What else did you have? You had the weird floaty War of the Worlds bug thing that gives you the fucking protection.
Yeah, the Reanimator.
Yeah, you had the Royal Warden. I think that was mostly it. I might be missing a couple of bits. Oh, the Flying Cryptek with the cloak that was everywhere on eBay for ages. And then you had the Primaris half, which was the first time we saw Primaris, where you had the Captain, the Lieutenant, the Intercessors, Hellblasters, Aggressors. I think that was most of it.
Also, because the Dragon says that it's also relatively cheap to make a 2,000 point Space Marine army.
Is it now, though?
Not a good one. But,
like nowadays, is it? Because like the amount of times I see a Space Marine army now, you're like, there's fucking 70 Space Marines on the table, 2,000
it depends,
points.
right? So if you look at so Manny Chima did really well with Space Marines this weekend, and he was running triple Repulsor Executioner, 18
Centurions?
No, 18 Victrix.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
It was very by the numbers army. It's very smooth brain. So, but that's quite expensive to buy because like Repulsor Execution is like 70 quid.
Yeah.
Right. But like the guy who was in the finals was running Salamanders of all things, which was wild. They even got there. And he had loads of Infernus Marines in his army. And he had like a Land Speeder and a Redeemer and a Lancer. It's just a real mishmash of different Space Marine units, which you could probably buy relatively cheap.
We also have the bonus because they're in every launch box, every fucking box that comes out and every magazine that exists. Actually, eBay is Space Marine player's best friend.
Oh yeah, once that launch box comes out, I'm going to be trying to get as many of those Land Speeders as possible.
Yeah.
Because like, I want them to go into my Fists. I want them to go into my Raven Guard. I want them to go into the Dark Angels for Raven Wing.
Yeah. Yeah, spamming Manny Strikes again. That guy, Manny Kima would do well with Dust. He is a very good player.
18 Victrix and 3 tanks is not
that spammy. Oh, it is spammy. You're tripping the good things as much as you can.
Yeah, but it's a tournament, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm not criticising you, Jay.
But like, it's not like when he ran like 120 racks.
No, it's not. That was fucking vile.
Yeah.
But still did well. Who cares? If it's legal, it's legal, isn't it? Ultimately.
But yeah, Kroot did win.
South Coast Super Major.
Yeah. Kroot won it. He won. Oh, what was his name?
He's the VT player.
Yeah. He's very. I watched the final.
He's such a nice dude as well.
He's really nice.
Ross Tully, is that his name?
Ross Tully, yeah. It's basically. It's basically a lesson in movement and move blocking.
Yeah,
that's a way because he was losing like 6 units a turn.
But he's playing his
got
game.
Like 1 million models on the table.
Yeah,
and And he can just put enough shots and combat into you that you just can't kill it all.
Yeah, but he like I've played next to him when he was playing Crew at Beachhead. Lovely bloke as well.
I think I could kill most of it, but I wouldn't be able to win against it because I couldn't just
That's the problem, isn't it?
You just can't.
Like,
you just can't do anything.
I've killed your whole army, but you've outscored me so hard in the first 4 turns, I just can't catch up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll jump into chat. It's been quiet so far. Chat. We're on 27 members. There's a ton of grey names in chat. If you want to support the show here, we put all the content out for free. Think about becoming a member. Or people can gift memberships to make you green. We're going to start talking to you people. I've run out of super chats to talk about apart from the first one already. So if you've got thoughts on Space Marines, thoughts on the launch box, thoughts on Armageddon, thoughts on Yarrick, thoughts on the Weird Boy, please stick them on a postcard, send them in to us. It really helps us here. It helps keep the lights on. It helps pay the rent. It helps pay Joe his wages. It helps pay me my wages. So we're very, very grateful for all the donations. What are you about to say?
So, like you said, Astrovel says that 18 Victrix is just 6 boxes. Like, Manny's list, right, is good, but it's also like, if built and painted well, it's very aesthetically pleasing to look at.
I think Victrix are beautiful.
So, like, when you've got
Victrix
when
might
you've
be my
got
most
3 tanks, which are very nice tanks, with 3 nice units of Honor Guard, and you've got Calgar there, and you've got Sicarius, and you've got who's that limited edition guy?
Titus? No, Titus.
No, the one with Aura of Deceit. Fentress.
Okay.
So you got your 3 Honor Guard units with your 3 named characters, and then you got a couple units around. Like, that's very nice to look at. The models are great, and it looks narrative. It's an elite, like, first company kind of heroes army.
My favourite complete Space Marine model range is probably Space Wolves. Almost definitely Space Wolves. I think they have, personally, including Primarchs, I think they have the best main character model in Logan Grimnar, personally. I think closely followed by the Lion, but I think they have the best character model in Logan Grimnar. I think Blood Claws are beautiful, Grey Hunters are beautiful. I love Head Takers. I think they're great. I will go as far as to say that I think Victrix are, for me, my most favourite Space Marine kits in existence.
If I had the money, I would buy 18 Victrix Guard, 3 Repulsors, all the characters to go along with it. Because I'd want to build it and paint just a really nice, beautiful army. And obviously, it's not going to be... It probably won't be good in the new edition. Lunch for Joe. Thank you very much. For
Okay. Okay, I guess I'm getting you lunch today, Joe. Yeah. Thank you, Roland Payne. Fucking hell. Don't worry about super chats now. Chat, just worry about members.
Chinese today.
Fuck me, Roland.
Yeah,
so
because I think that's an armor I'd love to build and paint. Like, Ultramarines have the best, like, first company looking army with the blue and the white and the Roman aesthetic. It's really nice. I'd want to do that. I want to find loads of dead Tyranids, though, to kind of make it look...
Logan Grimnar, for me today, is the best model we've done for 40k.
I
probably agree, Kai.
I do think that I'm biased.
Okay.
Because I think Shan, the Raven Guard model, is fucking beautiful.
I'm never going to disagree with that, but I also personally think that the White Scar on Bike Dude is fucking stunning too.
People complain about the Space Marine releases this edition, but they have been GOAT tier.
Oh, they've been incredible.
They've been amazing.
They've been incredible.
They've knocked out of the park every single time with the Space Marine.
If you think about this last edition, though, we're slightly off topic here, but it's relevant. If you think about this last edition, with the exception perhaps of what's his name, the Inquisitor Cotiez, is there a bit of bad model? So some people would say Admech Stiltman, but there's a lot of people that I know that like him and they think he's quite cool. And he is quite a nice model. He might be a bit stupid, but he's a nice model.
I can think of one.
Go on.
Glaringly bad one.
Okay.
Right. And that is Canuck Var. Not Canuck Var. What's the name? The Iron Hands man.
Dildo Man.
The ribbed dildo.
Okay.
Like, if his pose was different,
okay,
you could argue the sculpt in terms of the armor and the massive Dildatron 3000, right, if the pose was different, I think it'd be fine. But he's too static.
Okay, Clem's got it. Custodian's captain. I'll give you that one. The thing is, as well, right? The Custodian's shield captain, releasing that shield captain with the melter spear. I've got something to talk about Custodian as well, actually. Releasing that shield captain with the melter spear in essentially the same edition, and I know it's for Horus Heresy, so it's not necessarily relevant, but in the same edition, you then release the new Custodes is a fucking bold choice. If you knew, because they would have known that new shield captain was coming, as well as the new Custodian Guard and the Dreadnought. I don't know why you didn't look at that shield captain that they built for 40k and go, let's not release that. Let's just fucking leave that alone. Because look what's coming in 18 months' time. That's so much nicer. Also, did you see on the website, all of the new Custodian stuff has found itself into the 40k section of Adeptus Custodians on the website now.
Has it?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So, because I know you were, I don't know if this changes your mind, but you were dead. They're going to remove them in 40k in the new edition. Don't buy them if you're buying them just for 40k. I think putting them in the 40k section, personally, shows intent that they're staying there. And it's all in there. All the Grav Carrier, the Caladius tank, the Annihilator tank, the whole lot's in there.
Do you know what could happen?
Okay.
And this will upset a lot of people. Right? Is that I've seen the Legends in going the wrong direction. Or the existing Custodes range, not the new stuff that's just come out. The existing Custodes range might get Legend because they're so aesthetically different.
They are very different.
They're
chalk and cheese, mate.
Yeah,
they're so different. I held a normal Custodian Guard the other day up against a new one. Yeah, they on the surface, if you look at one, look at the other, you might be like, oh yeah, they're similar. You put them next to each other, they actually look really different.
Yeah, it's. Like you could say, Wardens are going, Blade Champs go in. This is just a fresh new start.
I mean, I have an intent at the moment to for 11th specifically. I'm going to try and main Custodes because I think that I can play them. Well, my theory currently is that I'll be able to play them in both 40k and Heresy, so I get 2 game systems out of it. It's a low model count army. It's a relatively easy to paint army because it's gold wash, pick out details if you're not too fussy. So that's what I want to do. So I was dead sure I was 90% sure that they would be fine in 40k and they'd be okay. But your comment was niggling in my ear like they're going to go, and I was like,
so the thing is though, like something's going to go.
Well, and
but
so
we don't know what side of the fence is.
And chat kept saying to me, "No, Joe's wrong. They're going to stay." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think they're going to stay, but." They also could get rid of them because they've done worse.
In my head, there was a fence and there's 2 sides of it, right? And I thought the new side, like one side, just going to poof, disappear. What I think is going to happen is that both sides are going to collapse. It's whoever can hold on to the fence the longest stays. And I think that's the like the imagery in my head where some stuff might stay, some other stuff might stay, some stuff will go. For me, I personally wouldn't touch Custodes until I know.
Well, I have picked up 2 of the battle boxes, 2 Grav Carriers, 2 normal Caladiuses, and 2 units of Venatari. So I've now got probably about, knowing Custodes, I've probably got about 4,000 points of Custodes now to build and to paint.
I finished Tyranids this weekend, much more. I've got more Tyranids to do. I would like to do, I'm hoping the new edition is kind to Tyranids. I want to do more on them.
Can you paint up some more aspect stuff at some point soon? Not now, but soon.
What, for Eldar?
Yeah.
I can do.
Thank you.
What do you need?
Need? Nothing.
Oh.
Want? Stuff.
Oh.
Guardians.
I love that I painted up like 4,000 points of Eldar for the release of that codex. And you don't want any of it.
No, that's not true. It's just a lot of what you did was planes and tanks. I don't really love planes and tanks. I like the infantry stuff. All the infantry stuff that you use, I've rotated through and used loads of that. It's fucking great, and you've done a good job.
Yeah.
So anyway, back into chat. I was very interested in that Custodians thing because I was like, Joe's wrong because they're in the 40k section. It still means nothing. To be clear, I'm not giving you spending advice that says go and buy loads of new Custodians. They'll definitely be fine in 40k. I still have that niggle in the back of my head that they could remove them. Let's not forget that when they launched the new edition of Heresy, not the most recent one, the one before that, they massively pushed all this plastic stuff is usable in 40k, and then the new edition of 40k came and they fucked it all off.
I'm currently looking at my future army purchases based on the new terrain.
Okay.
And what we've heard about the rules, because obviously I think indirect is out for the new edition. I think it will still be available, in terms of like basilisks and obviously the field artillery, but the way they talked about how units can hide and stuff, like unless they bring in some kind of spotter rule, artillery is just going to be fucking useless because it can't target a lot of stuff. So I'm currently looking. So I've been building and painting Tyranids because obviously they can push into objectives and fight. They're quite good in there. But I'm like, I want to get Pyrovores, the Biovore, but the big flame tank.
Yeah.
Because they could just waddle up to terrain and just burn everything in it. I think Flamer units are going to become very popular in the new edition.
All Firstborn Marine tracked vehicles will go, and probably the Storm Raven and Talon. Do you think they'll go? Tracked vehicles?
For Space Marines.
For Loyalist Space Marines.
Loyalist Space Marines, I can see it. Because obviously you've got the Impulsor, so you don't need the Rhino. Like you don't see Rhinos on the table unless it's in Chaos Space Marines. You don't see Razorbacks on the table. Right? There for the one person who's like, I still use Rhinos and Razorbacks, like you are the minority in this.
40k people.
Yeah,
for
40K.
Loyalist Space Marine people.
Yeah. I reckon we've had. When did the Impulse come out?
So
I think we've had like 4 to 5 years of conditioning to not use Rhinos, Razorbacks, Storm Raven, Storm Talons. I think the planes are gone.
It's hard. I don't know what I think about it because although for Loyalist Space Marines solely, I can see the Rhino going, right? I can see that. That's fine. I get it. But then they also will have to keep them for chaos.
The hidden rule shows that they are not visible. But I thought, is that not? You can't target them.
We'll get into it in a sec.
Yeah.
I kind of see them getting rid of Rhinos for Space Marines, Loyal Space Marines, yeah. But why would they if they need to keep selling them for Chaos Space Marines? They still need to keep producing the chassis for Sisters Rhinos. Because it's just an upgrade.
Maybe just a resculpt.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But I just think that because Sisters use them, fucking Grey Knights use them, Space Marines use them, Chaos Space Marines use them of all flavours. They sell too many Rhinos. So I'm like, at that point, they're like, is anyone using them for Space Marines? Probably not. We're going to stop selling them? Absolutely not, because we keep selling them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Tactical Squad will probably go.
I can see a Tactical Squad going.
I can see a Devastator Squad going.
Yeah.
The Stormhawk and the Storm Talon in the bin. They're poo.
I guess the other option is that you just use the Heresy Rhino and get rid of the 40k one, but I just don't know why they would. Yeah,
it's very small.
So the hidden rule, what they wrote about the hidden rule was that you're not visible to enemies. So the specifics for the hidden rule isn't loan up. The specifics for the hidden rule says you are not visible to enemies that are outside of your.
That's my misread. Then I just assumed it was like loan.
So if you're outside of their detection range, you're not visible to those enemies.
So indirect can work then.
Because indirect says you do not need visibility.
In that case, I need a third whirlwind.
But if they're getting the benefit of cover and the indirect doesn't have ignores cover, then they are then -1 ballistic skill, which would make things like basilisks really shit.
Basilisks. Take aim gives them +1 ballistic skill.
Currently, yes.
So, like, you can get back to hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know.
There's a bit of I don't want the Land Rangers to go. Then I keep looking at. I want to get a Redeemer for my fist.
The problem is there's too many questions though, right? Which we don't have the answers to because we don't know the rules. Because if the -1 to ballistic skill is the benefit of cover, most indirect has ignores cover, so then logically you don't have that -1 to hit. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know until that rules come out because they might change what ignores cover does. They might change how indirect works.
Because they've changed how the Scout Sentinel works for Guard. Because it used to be you pick a unit, you ignore cover, and you reroll into the hit. Now it's just rerolls.
Yeah,
they got rid of the ignore cover. So maybe the Scout Sentinel might change to that one as like a spotting.
Who knows?
Spotting people.
Land Raider still top in my opinion. Agree.
I love that. Yeah.
Thank you, Farmer George, for the $2 right at the start of the show. He says
the Redeemer was in the final.
Was it? That makes you happy.
I was so happy to see a Redeemer in the final. So much so that I was looking to be like, can I justifiably afford not to eat this weekend? and buy a Redeemer.
Just remove indirect. It's not fun to play against. I disagree. It's not fun to play against oppressive indirect. I agree. I agree with that. Indirect, if you balance it properly, I don't think anyone cares about being hit by guard mortars, for example. I think people did care about being hit by D cannons at the start of 10th edition.
Yeah, I think if it's done. I think indirect is in a good place now because it's at a price. It's at a price point where you really have to think about whether you need it and whether it's going to do enough damage to justify. Like they were really good when everyone was running MSU Guard, like MSU Eldar and stuff. They were just picking up little Eldar units like they were nothing.
Yeah,
but
I
do think they are important for getting those. I think
I've played against you with things like field ordnance batteries and stuff out on the table, and they're a bit annoying because you're like, fuck, I've hidden everything, but I can't because it's indirect. Yeah. But also, it's not oppressive shooting because it's guard that do it.
I do feel like
when Eldar's D cannons were hitting on twos out of line of sight,
were bonkers.
It was fucking mental,
and they were overwatching from behind the building. They were fucking. But we're like, I'm running double whirlwind at the moment in my fun narrative fists army, and I think what I've discovered is it makes other oppressive units honest. Keeps them honest. Right?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because when you look at Chaos Space Marines, right, they are big fans of rapid ingressing warp talons.
Yeah.
Do you know what warp talons don't like being hit by? AP2 damage to artillery.
No, of course.
Because they have to come in your turn before you've shot.
Yep.
So you've picked your oath target already, but you go, well, I'm going to pick them, aren't I? And shoot them. And then you'll get to charge in and you'll have 4 or 5, not 10. And it's like I found that like playing into the Twin Lance, where it could like scout, move, shoot, move, having the artillery at the back was like, well, I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to keep harassing you. I can still get like...
Farmer George says bring back scatter dice for indirect. So I'm going to say this now. I'm a massive scatter dice fan, and when I use it in Heresy, I love it again. I don't think you should bring it back for 4K.
No, I think hitting on 4s is perfectly fine.
Only because
4s -1 to hit.
Especially with events. Like if we were using scatter dice on the channel between Joe and I, for example, we're never going to have a problem. We just won't, because that's how we'll play super chilled. Like roughly that direction, roughly that many inches. Move the template. You're happy? Yeah, we're happy. At tournaments, it caused a lot of arguments, and people would get really, it's not quite. It's more that angle. I'm like, no, but my angle, it's more, and it just got really petty. And I would always give people the benefit of the doubt, and then end up playing someone who didn't do the same in reverse, and it creates a feels bad moment. So, although I love scatter dice, I'm a big advocate for that kind of wargaming. I don't think we should bring it back to 40k now we've lost it.
Like the Votan mortars, they are hot garbage.
Are they?
You are literally better taking 5 Herfkin who've been split by a Sagittar.
Yeah, okay.
Putting them on your home.
Talking about Farmer George, he did give us $2 at the start. I started to read it out, but then you were reading chat at the same time. He says, Pedro, Joe knows.
Pedro. Have you seen Pedro? The dancing raccoon? Spins around in a circle. What's that here?
I've seen that raccoon, but I don't remember it being Pedro.
He's singing the Pedro song.
Is he?
It's Pedro. Right. But obviously, because I've done more Crimson Fists.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the
I tell you what, Crimson Fists are a joy to paint.
Yeah.
They're really satisfying. 2 great colours. Stands out nice.
Loving it?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of like, I didn't want to paint more, but I kind of want to paint more.
You've gone full Son of Dawn, haven't you?
Yeah,
although I was on the Warhammer merch website yesterday, and there was a Custodes bundle that came up straight away, which was a Custodes t-shirt, a water bottle, and the Custodes banner. Yeah. And because you bought the first one, I was like, do I do that?
I think we should get all of them. Walmart, we've all heard of Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, they sell everything from field artillery to plastic spoons. Right? Mm-hmm. Plastic spoons for your field artillery.
Yeah.
They sell Warhammer banners. Like my fist one. Much lower quality, but they do loads, like multiple ones for the same chapters. Like they've got like 3 different Templar ones, one including Helbrecht's banner. They got them for like Tyrion. They got them for all the armies in the game. They're like $16. I was looking, and I was like,
Thank you, Aaron582 Arrows, for upgrading to Huskarl tier. You're a legend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are currently on 36 members, chat. You have blasted through the super chat target. Thank you to Mr. Roland Bain. You're 2 likes off of hitting the like target for 100 likes. There's 300 of you watching right now. We are on 36 members. The target's 100. I'm not here tonight because Saints are playing. Joe is live on air against Mr. Warpstrider, who's in the chat right now. Andy, who's bringing his Necrons. You could make my evening significantly less stressful right now, I'm just saying, by throwing members at us. If all 300 of you gifted one, they could just chill out tonight and have a fun game of Warhammer and not have to worry about it. And Joe doesn't have to message me halfway through the stream going, they hate me. They fucking hate me.
I always on screen.
Hey?
They hated Tom and Paddy.
Right, they hate us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. The Harborn Vortex Games, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you. I hope that you get home for dinner tonight and there is a hog roast in your living room.
Oh, I like a hog roast. Thank you, Spectral Mist, for 5 gifted memberships. You're a legend. Spectral Mist, Jay.
Who?
Spectral Mist. You're right there.
I was reading. It skipped ahead in a weird way. Spectral Mist. I hope that you win a ticket to every single Warhammer event, like Warhammer Games Workshop event in your country.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Tank the Unknowing, for 5 gifted memberships.
I hope, Tank, that you have a underground bunker under your house.
Nice.
Do what you want in it.
Shrimpy Fool became a Hesir tier member all by himself. Thank you, mate. You're a legend. Evan gifted 2. Love you.
Thank you.
Mr. The Whitey 55 gifted 1. Tank gifted 1 more. A legend. MR gifted 5 memberships.
MR, I hope that you have a giant magnet, but when you turn it on, it's like an electronic one, it just attracts whatever you desire at that time.
Oh.
Yeah. But don't forget walls exist.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, Sydney Sweeney.
It could also be dangerous. It could give away things that you don't want people to know.
Yeah, because it's coming in a straight line, right? So
yeah, it could give away things you would, I desire this, and you don't want people to know you desire it, and then suddenly it's there.
Yeah.
So be careful with that one, all right? Thank you, Nick, for $5. He says, honestly, I've got a Custodes box and the Venatari. I've got some World Eaters to do. I've got a Nightbringer and Nemesaur to do. I'd wanted to go Blood Angels for 11th edition. Right? So you can. It's a Space Marine box.
Do it.
Yeah?
Just do it, mate.
You get. I love you, Nick. Thank you for the $5. I don't understand.
I feel like you're complaining, but I don't see the problem. Maybe some restraint is all I'd say. Like, make a choice. Be like, do I need this?
Just a quick message. As myself and a few friends came down to Hobby House on Saturday to play a few games. Wanted to say the shop and the boards were amazing, and everyone was super welcoming. Amazing. It's just too much. There's so much. The thing is with 40k. Let's be clear. The thing is with 40k now. And this is true even if they remove some stuff as they continue to kind of slim some ranges down, because I do think that Space Marines need a bit of a trim here and there, if I'm honest. The thing is with 40k is we are genuinely spoilt for choice. I don't think there's a bad range. There's ranges that some people don't like. That doesn't make them bad. I think Drakari could do with some new model love. I think some of the Admech range is a bit, I don't love it, but that's a personal preference.
That new Admech model
is gorgeous.
Lady.
Gorgeous,
insanely
utterly
good.
gorgeous.
I don't like the Quasimodo's Skitarii that hang around with her, but she's a great model.
But I just think that we are really. I mean, you can the downside with having the shop downstairs for me personally is every time I get the delivery for the order that we put in, and every Wednesday our restock turns up, I get out and it's every faction like, oh, I'd love to have an army of that.
I've kind of
love
like
to have an army of that.
Going for stuff at home, like the new editions kind of creeping up, and I'm like, do I need this? Do I need that? Kind of thing. Like, I bought in some stuff just to give to Paddy. I've just been like redistributing it between the team, and I'm like, and I bought those the Eldar Corsairs. I was like, I want to do Eldar Corsair army, and now I'm like, no, I've moved on from them.
I'd like you to do that army.
I'm done with them.
I was fully behind you doing that army.
I wanted to, and then I had to do something else, And now I'm looking at them and I'm like,
Keep hold of them because I bought the box.
I don't know
Oh, no,
if I-
did you buy the box? Or
I
buy
bought the box. So I'm just like, I don't know if I want them anymore. Because I'm like, I'm more interested in getting the armies that I currently have into a more rounded state for the new edition.
Is the box you've started building it, haven't you?
It's all built.
It's all built.
Yeah, it's all done.
Okay.
I just need to build and paint them. Well, I need to paint them. I've built them already. So like
I do. I go through my garage or I go through anything I've got here, and I start rooting through it and going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a load of stuff up for sale and get rid of it. And then you go, no, I want to do that still.
I think my biggest problem is I have lots to do. And I get excited about something new. And I get it, and then I'm like, I still have to finish the thing before. So I go back and finish the thing from before to kind of get it. And then by the time I get to the thing I got excited about, I'm bored about it now.
Yeah. Nick did get back to us and said basically he's got too much stuff to do. He flew too close to the hobby, son. Mate, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
The good thing about this hobby is there is literally something for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think Games Workshop needs to release more.
And I'm leading into lately. I don't know, just upset and annoyed Joe, but lately I'm just leading into my scatterbrain. I haven't had a lot of time or opportunity to hobby. So when I do get the time and opportunity to hobby, I'm just doing what the fuck I want at that point in time. Because if I sit there and stress about, I should be doing my Nightbringer, or I should be doing my World Eaters, I end up doing nothing, and then I get really shitty that I haven't done any hobby. So I'm like, this is the bonus of the shop, but also a curse at the same time. I wanted to do some hobby, and I really wanted to build a new Castellan. I never built one. I was like, I want one, and I went to the shop, bought one, built it, because I could. And I sat there quite happy, the Cadian Castellan.
Oh.
I just sat there quite happily, putting them together. And I was like, it's what I wanted to do. It's what I'm doing. And I sat there and did it. And I fucking loved it.
That's great. But
no, I don't want to hear a but. I'm happy in my hobby at the moment. I don't want to hear any of these buts.
You carry on doing that.
Thank you. I will. Thank you so much, Farmer George, for $5. Thoughts on what vehicles were removed for most of the factions in 11th? I wouldn't be at all surprised at this point to see flyers go for all factions.
Yeah, I think maybe there'll be like maybe a flyer legend supplement type.
Do you remember when they did?
Skies of Death,
7th edition,
7th, 8th edition, I think. Yeah,
and flyers had their own separate game, their own dogfighting rules.
Oh yeah, it's fucking awful. I hated it because if one person turned up with a plane, it was fine. They just do plane stuff. And then if you both turned up with planes, if one of you decided they wanted to use the Skies of Death rules, you both had to use them, and it was dumb as shit. Right, and one would just inevitably just kill the other one before it even got onto the table. Or if someone bought 2 planes and someone bought 1 plane, so well, my 1 plane's dead then, isn't it? Before I could do anything with it. It was, and the rules were really convoluted. Like it was kind of like, here's a mini game in the big game kind of thing.
Concept was cool, execution was shit.
Yeah, it was the only excuse I think in Warhammer to buy a Hydra flak tank. I love the Hydra flak tank. It's never been good.
No,
ever. I want it. I love the fact it exists, but at the same time, it doesn't really need to be in the game. Although it is a dual kit with the Wyvern, but that's not been good since. I
can see flyers going in general.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see. I mean, what do Space Marines still have? That's old. They have the Predator and Rhino chassis. That's about it. The normal bikes are gone. The attack bikes are gone. So maybe they go. Maybe Predators and Rhinos go. But I like I said, there's too much Predator stuff in Sisters and Chaos and World Eaters and Emperor's Children and Thousand Sons that I'm not sure they do go, because that's a kit that's printed once and maybe with a couple of upgrade sprues is in every fucking.
I'd like the Rhino to get redone so we can carry Primaris.
Okay.
Because they need something between the Impulsor and the Repulsor that's just a transport to carry models. Because if you look at the size of a Berserker.
He's hench though.
They're fucking massive. And you're telling me a Berserker, which is the same size as a Primaris Marine, can fit in a Rhino, but a normal Primaris guy can't. And it's just like, so you have to buy a repulsor to get your 10 Space Marines around.
Lehman Russ says, I hope Knights go. Can't see it. So I, in terms of super heavies, I'm going to say this now. It's very unpopular. I know it's unpopular because I've said it before. My personal preference for 40k at 2,000 points is that we lose super heavies and flyers. I don't want to see fucking Wraith Knights. I don't want to see Imperial Knights. I don't want to see.
Fine.
I don't want to see Bane Blades. I don't want to see flyers. That's my personal preference. It's my personal opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong if you think differently, because I know it upsets a lot of people when I say this. But I would personally remove them from 40k because I think the game was easier and neater and tidier without them. That being said, specifically with Knights, they just make too much money off of them. They just make far too much money off of them. And I know so many people that have got 3-4 armies and they go, I could do a Knights army. It's low model count. I have to do like 7 models and I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got a whole other army to play then. And the amount of people that go, I'll take Knights to a fucking tournament because it's brain rot army. I don't have to think about it. Just play Knights. And they love it because it's really, they're not overthinking because they've got fucking 800 different units that do different things.
Yeah.
So I absolutely cannot see them taking Knights out whatsoever, despite the fact that I also think they should go at 2,000 points and maybe super heavies come back in at 3,000 points.
I think you can have one super heavy in 2,000 points. One Knight, one Bane Blade. Because let's be honest, Bane Blades aren't good.
No, they're not. But my favourites are Shadow Sword
Knights
anyway.
Are very good. But what's interesting is if you look at the new terrain rules, is that I think Knights might struggle in the new terrain layouts.
You reckon?
Yeah. That big square building in the middle
causes problems for them.
If you put one model in the centre, they can't get into it.
Yeah.
So you could literally just lock Knights out of buildings. Which would be interesting. So I think you might see that because terrain informs the meta and how armies play. That's why I've always said that the ITC shouldn't be UKTC, WTC, Games Workshop terrain layouts. It should be just one terrain layout. Because the UK's got its own terrain style, and that's.
I massively agree with Toby.
Yeah.
I might play. He says just roll Knights and Chaos Knights into Mechanicum, Dark Mechanicum. 100%. That's what I would do. I 100% think that's what you should do. And limiting big boys to points, I'm not against that at all. But it will upset people that have got full Knight armies that go, I can't use my Knight army anymore because that's the only army I've got.
I think they've probably sold too many at this point.
Well, yeah. Gareth, thank you for $10. He says the Grey Knights need access to repulsors, etc., because at the moment they are the only Space Marines who don't have access to non-tracked. It is odd they don't have access to those extra vehicles. Do you not think?
They haven't got any Primaris units
yet.
Yeah. I don't think it's weird because they're all firstborn. It's just a truly firstborn army
for now.
Very nice.
But I can't see them becoming Primaris. I could just see them getting upscaled.
I think Games Workshop. This is a bold statement. I think they regret the Primaris narrative. I don't think they regret the model range. They've sold loads of them. I think they regret the narrative. I don't know. I like the narrative.
Really?
Like the more I liked it.
I like it now because good authors have got hold of it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when it came out.
I mean, like it was very just like, by the way, Cool's just been pottering around and he's just hidden.
Yeah.
All this stuff. But it's very kind of Clone Wars style, isn't it?
I think the way they've upscaled Sternguard, the way they've upscaled Terminators, the way they've upscaled things, even Grey Hunters and Bloodclaws, they've kind of not really gone. No, they're Primaris. I mean, they are, but they've just upscaled everything. And they've done the same thing with Berserkers and with fucking the Noise Marines, and it's all been upscaled to a different hero scale.
Yeah.
And I think if they were so like this is the right narrative of Primaris, there's other ways they could have done this upscaling, but they haven't. They've just been slowly replacing old kits.
I don't think they regret it because like sometimes you have to do something to get a response. You know, sometimes like you've got to go and do something to kind of make something happen. And I think what they've done is they came up with what they thought was a great idea at the time, and they released it into the world. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. And then what they've done over the last 9 years is slowly like meander through. Did they like this? Oh, they don't. Did they like this? They don't. They kind of, and now they've kind of just landed at a spot that's really, really good.
Well, you have to remember as well, Games Workshop are one of those companies, unfortunately. They're so big now and they're so popular now. And because of the type of people that play the game, yes, me and Joe included, and all you people that are watching right now, Games Workshop sit in that horrible position where they're fucked if they do and they're fucked if they don't. And so if they nuke a whole universe and bring out a whole brand new game, the community throws its hands in there and goes, this is dog shit, I hate it. If they don't nuke a whole range and they just bring out a new range and make some shit lore, the community goes mental about that as well. Wargamers hate two things, change and the way things are. So Games Workshop can't win.
Look at Death Watch as a prime example, right? They're like, we're not doing anything with Death Watch. You're not buying it. We're not going to do anything with it because we sell 4 Death Watch kits, Death Watch Kill Team, Corvus Blackstar, 2 characters. You ain't buying it. So why are we selling it?
Yeah.
And then apparently every player that plays Warhammer has a Death Watch army and was screaming against doors. They're so upset that it's gone. And they're like, but we're not using the kits that you sell that are Death Watch. We're using normal Space Marine kits because you allowed us to do that.
Yeah.
And Games Workshop were like, you are technically correct, yes. So they've released a new Death Watch kit, and I think they're going to go, if you buy it, we'll do it. If you don't buy it, we're not going to support it.
Is Primaris even a keyword on Unit Cinema? I don't think so. I think they've got rid of Primaris. Tacticus, Phobos, etc. Thank you, Narek, for €5. This is kind of akin to what you've just been talking about. It's relevant right now. I hate this idea of, quote, no one plays XYZ, so let's remove it, quote. How about fixing it? It sucks to only have the Land Raider to transport 10-man Space Marine units. Standard Land Raiders transporting 10-man Space Marine units annoys me. They should be able to take more, 100%. Why the Redeemer and the Crusader can take more than the Standard Land Raider, it doesn't make sense to me.
It's 12, 14, 16.
It's weird.
Yeah, but like, it is super odd that like you have these massive transports, but they can carry 10 Space Marines with 2 characters. All 12 Space Marines are on a 40mm base with. They're carrying a massive shield each and a massive sword. They just fill an entire room, right? But you can't fit more than 6 Terminators.
I'd like to think, though, based on that super chat, I'd like to think, though, that Games Workshop are quite wise to their own audience. And I'd like to think that they aren't naive enough to go, no one's buying, pick a shit unit in Space Marines.
Tactical Marines.
Okay, no one's buying, the Tactical Marines isn't a great one because it's an old kit. What's the buggy called? Invader ATV.
Yeah.
No one's buying Invader ATVs, so let's get rid of them. Right? Yeah. I can't believe they're that naive. They must be looking at it and going, why aren't people taking these in lists?
Yeah.
It's because their rules are shit. So the only time I think that they'll leave their rules shit and go, no one was buying it, is if they were looking to get rid of that kit anyway, and now they've got an excuse to get rid of it because the rules have been shit.
I'm also in the mind of like, if no one's buying it, whether it be through the models old and shit or the rules, I'm also kind of in the mind of like, just get rid of it and replace it with something better.
I also totally forgot the Repulsor exists. It can hold more than 10 Space Marines. So
the Land Raider holds 12. The
Chaos Land Raider holds 10, doesn't it? I think.
No, that also holds 12. But you can't. You can put. What's hilarious is you could put Terminators in it. I think you could put Possessed in it, but the Emperor's Children one you can't put. So there's something that you can't put in. It's super fucking weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a Wii. I can't think. I'm so desperate for a Wii. My brain doesn't function. Carry on.
I do find that the Land Raider transport capacity at 12, 14, 16, based on Land Raider, Redeemer, Crusader, is an odd choice, though. I don't see why it needs to be different. I just make them all 14 and leave it at that. If they kept the Deathwatch veterans while releasing the same Kill Team Primaris-fied, means to me that they were selling well enough. I think people will inherently find excuses for Games Workshop for why a kit's been removed or whatever. I don't fully buy that it's not selling well rhetoric half the time. And if they're using that as an excuse or a reason, it's an excuse. That's why. Because they can sell anything. Games Workshop can sell fucking anything. And sometimes the shittest, most horrendous kits in existence. Like Joe said earlier, when the T-shirt launchers came out, the Long Range Marines, I can't remember what they're fucking called now off the top of my head. When they came out, every single person I know, and I'm sure there was exceptions, but every single person I know said they were a ridiculous Space Marine kit. Peachy sat on this chair or that chair, and I chat with him on the show, and said, even at Games Workshop, like, these should not go out, these should not be released, right? And they did, and they were sold out for ages. And why were they sold out for ages? Because their fucking rules were good. So Games Workshop, if anybody in Games Workshop or from Games Workshop or around Games Workshop says they're going to get rid of this kit because it's not selling, it's because they've chosen for it not to sell. Desolation Marines, thank you, Andy, you're a legend. Because any kit that they want to sell, it doesn't matter. The old Finecast stuff, like I said to you before about Warp Spiders, right? Warp Spiders, they sold fucking hundreds of Finecast Warp Spiders because they were fucking good. So people wanted them. They can sell anything they want. If they've got a backlog of shit, if they've got 1 million kits out there, I want to sell them. How do we get rid of them? They could conceivably just make the rules very, very good. Off they go. So I don't believe that excuse personally. And with things like Deathwatch and Demons to a point this last year as well, if they want to get rid of them, there's a reason for it. There's going to be a strategic reason for it, but I don't think it's because they won't be selling enough.
Oh, that was damn good.
Yeah, I also need the bathroom. I'm going to try and hold off for a bit. Cornet Air, because we still sat on 46 members, Joe. We're 4 away from 50.
Oh.
We're nearly at halfway. Thank you, Cornet Ed, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Cornet Ed. I hope that you... all of your furniture gets replaced with giant beanbags.
It could be a good hope, could be a terrible one. Thank you, Run McClock, Jacob, and Eagles Fly for 1 gifted each. And then thank you, Jacob, for becoming a Skull tier member all by yourself. You're a legend. I love you. Thank you, Mr. The Hard One, for $5. He says, isn't it fun being a dealer who dips into their own supply, Liam? Asterisk looks at 21, 40k, 6 AOS, and 5 old world armies. I'm not quite that bad yet. Not quite that bad yet. I'm trying not to buy too much from myself because it skews my numbers, right? But
It's false positive.
Yeah. Oh, look at all these sales. Yeah, it was all Liam.
And you're basically, if you really think about it, you're just giving more money to the taxman.
Essentially.
Because you get paid, which you get taxed on. You buy a product, which you get taxed on. And then the company you've sold it to gets taxed on that.
But I do buy from Hobby House with my other business. So I don't get, when I get paid, I don't get taxed on it when I buy it from the company.
Okay.
Because it's a business expense. So it actually comes off my tax liability. Okay. Slightly better. It's not still, I'm not suggesting by any means it's efficient, Joe.
No.
But thank you so much for that, you legend. Thank you, Michael Valentine, for the 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Liam Ross. Give CSM and the 4 God Legions more transports. It's bad, isn't it? Because they used to have, what was it, the 2 drop pods from Forge Worlds.
You had the Cribdus and the Dreadclaw. You had the Rhino.
The Termite Drill.
The Termite Drill. So they had ways of getting around.
You can talk about this.
I would argue that
you can get 4 members once I go to the bathroom, Joe.
Deep striking, because at the time, I think drop pods are bad now, right? Because of how the game functions. The boards are smaller. Everyone's got infiltrating units, scouting units. Like, you can't, with a drop pod landing 9 inches away, having a unit to land 9 inches away and then have a unit get out that also has to be 9 inches away is not good. I think if the transport can land 9 inches away and you can disembark but be like 6 inches away and not charge, I think that's fine. But the rules just don't work like that. And like, the drop pod is massive, right? The Dreadclaw and the Cribdus get away with it because they had a flying base, and the Termite Drill was just a potato. What I would like to see is just more just generic transports. But like, the problem that Chaos Space Marines have is that outside of the Heresy era transports, the transports they have access to are ones they steal from Space Marines. You could probably maybe have like a Demon Engine transport, but do you really want to get inside a Demon Engine? Because it'll probably just eat you, right? It's just like walking into a mouth of an alligator. So like, I think I would just like to see Yeah, just maybe some chaos, like some more chaosified versions of Space Marine stuff. 'Cause all that stuff is just stolen. Maybe give them the Razorback.
Does anybody out there buy 40k Rhinos for their Chaos units anyway?
No, they just buy Heresy ones.
Just buy the Heresy ones. That's what I do.
On my shelf in my garage, I've got Heresy, like 2 Heresy Predators, Heresy.
Especially because you could just buy the Demios pattern Rhinos from Heresy, and then you can just buy the resin Forge World doors for the Legion, for Worldies or whatever, and then just bang them on.
Yeah. They do. Chaos do need new bikes though.
They do need new bikes, yeah, 100%. But so does Space Marines need new bikes.
They
Space Marines, they need multi-park, 100%,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I do miss the old attack bike though. I do miss it.
Yeah.
I do miss it.
Maybe we'll get one back. If you look at how the we've got that stupid ATV, I would have preferred the ATV is just the new attack bike. Really.
Yeah, but it's shit.
It looks bad. It is not. It just looks like a go-kart.
Thank you, that one guy, for the $2. Bring back my clowns as an army. Preach. Preach.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will.
The problem is the Games Workshop's got this weird thing where, like, if something is just flat fucking broken, like Quinn's were,
They were mental.
like, they're like, it's like when a kid like burns their hands for the first time. They're like, not going to do that again.
Yeah.
Not touching that kind of thing.
They were mental, to be fair.
I think the Harlequin's detachment's not terrible. I quite like the Harlequin's detachment.
But I would like them to be more playable in other detachments as a sole army, and then I think you solve that problem. I don't think you need them to be their own codex. I think I personally prefer having them in the Eldar codex, but I think I would like more than just the one detachment to play them in, or whatever it is, or two now it is.
I'm controversially would like to see Harlequins go back to their original form of just like a 0-1 allies. You could just have a troop with a solitaire and like one each of the characters and stuff. Like keep it super, like just be what they are. They're not an army. I don't think they're an army anymore.
Chat, we did get to 51 members. I'll give you 10 more minutes of the stream at the very least. But if someone out there is feeling super generous and just wants to throw 50 members at us, we can hit a target and I can chill out a bit for tonight. But thank you, Mr. The Tribune, for 5 gifted memberships.
I hope you get a tame honey badger.
Oh, they're ugly fucking things, though, aren't they?
Oh, they're adorable.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
They're lovely.
Do you know what you're playing? It's Andy's Necrons tonight. Andy, you still in chat? Is the first list you sent me for Joe still the list you're taking tonight before I make the graphics? Bring back Maudie and Iron Guard. Love those models. 100%. I am excited that they're bringing out Steel Legion. I am. I think it's good. But
I don't want Steel Legion.
I think it's the wrong move. I'd have done Catachans or Mordians.
Mordians or Catachans, I think, is the right choice because releasing Steel Legion is just a hat on a hat, right?
It is just a hat on a hat. It's Krieg with a different head.
Yeah. I just it's like if they released Steel Legion and then they had the alternate head choices to give them the Pith hat for Praetorians, I'd just be in there.
Andy, can you reply to the list that you are using and tell me who's leading who? There was no Catans in that list, Andy. At all. What was a gifted membership? Membership was gifted to you. Thank you, Roland Bain, for 10 gifted memberships. We'll go back to that Mordian conversation.
Thank you, Roland Bain. I hope that you have Chinese for dinner. I do like the Vestroyans. They were one of those armies that came out like when I kind of no longer lived at home and was kind of poor, so I just couldn't afford to buy them. They're one of those armies that I always wanted but never could. But then I was just like Catachans, Valhallans, like the old school ones are my favourites.
My first ever army, and it wasn't a proper army because I was a kid, was Valhallans. And I had a Lehman Russ, and I had a mortar team, an autocannon team, a missile team, a special weapons team, a commissar, and an officer. That was what I had as a kid. And I painted them blue.
Yeah, I think mine were the classic green and white. I think I just wanted Catachans, and the fact that we didn't get Catachans as a kill team and we didn't get them as a full army, I was so heartbroken.
Yeah. They shouldn't have gone back to...
I'd mentally and physically prepared myself.
Trey Guardsman says they shouldn't have gone back to Armageddon. Then there would have been no moaning about Steel Legion. True. They also could have just not done that video that says, here's how to paint your... what's it called? Krieg,
it's just kind of
Legion.
fan service, though, really, isn't it? And like,
but again, this is another one of those occasions where they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. Games Workshop put a video out saying this is how you can paint your Krieg so you look like Steel Legion. There's loads of people that have already done that, and yet they got slammed for it.
I think also the problem is that let's be honest, the game narrative doesn't really matter much 2 years into the edition.
Yeah,
like we're still like there's been no resolving of Leviathan, for instance. Narrative-wise. So like
narratively, they've frustrated me in recent times, Jojo, because they start a narrative and you're like, oh, this could be fucking exciting.
I think we'll get there. It's just kind of carry it's kind of stretched out and put everywhere. I know a lot of people that I don't know why people are so upset about Armageddon. I love the fact that we're at Armageddon because as a people, as a human race, like life's a bit hard. It's a bit tough now. Times were much better when I was smaller and younger, right? So they're like, what did we like and what did we love when we were younger? And like the big narrative. So like, has he changed his list?
He says he sent me the wrong list. He sent me the same list twice.
Oh. What list is it? Is he running?
You won't like it, Joe, at all. Watch his face drop here.
Was that for tonight? Yeah. I'm running Raven Guard. You made the choice for me there, Andy.
Okay, cool. I mean, you run what you want, mate. That's not a problem.
Yeah, you run what you want.
It's fucking good.
Quick game is a fun game.
Yeah,
we ain't getting to 100 tonight.
You can be fun. I think chat will back you up with loads of members, like Merilcat just did with the one gifted. Thank you.
Right, saying I'm really butthurt about them going to Armageddon. That makes me sad. Why have they gone there? And then say they should have gone to Necromunda, which is a narrative as old as time as well. I think the problem is it's better to go to established planets that people care about than go to a random planet that no one has ever heard of. Because whether it gets destroyed or saved, it has zero consequence and no one cares.
Right. This is where I agree with you. I want more jeopardy in established narrative scenarios. I don't want everything that's currently established to be plot armored. And so we only hear about this random chapter or this random character, and then he dies. And you're like, well, no one cares. It's like the TV series where Andy, it's fine.
Don't change it, Andy.
It's like the TV series where a random character comes in and he suddenly becomes a big character. Oh, he's going to die soon, and he dies. You're like, cool. No one actually cares because he wasn't originally a main character.
Yeah. Or this character that's appeared, and then all of a sudden he's got kids and a wife. Yeah. Oh, you're going to die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, look, there he goes. Yeah. Guess what? We don't care. Yeah. Figures show we gift more when Joe's doing bad, so that list is probably a good sign then. Well, do you?
I have learnt that.
Do you?
Yeah.
We're on 62 right now, chat. If you want to make Joe happy for a brief period of time before his Rogering later, then you can get us to 100 right now. I like it when we do well on the daytime show because it takes the pressure off this man in the evening because he gets all worried that I'm going to be angry. I'm never angry.
No, I'd be like, what happened last night? And I'm like,
I just ask.
Yeah.
Just in case there's like, this thing happened.
Yeah. We went live. No one turned up. Ross Darrow, thank you for one. I'm so hungry right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can't run the fists because I ran them on Thursday? No. I ran them last week. I'm running Tyranids on Thursday versus Paddy.
Are you? I don't remember who's playing on Thursday.
Paddy said he's in.
I think it's Paddy and me and you on Thursday.
So we're gonna do the. You want to do the junglers? He wants to do the rematch, but without the Titans. Tau versus Nids. I've got double Norn.
Double Norn.
I finally got 20 gaunts done to go with a.
I love the fact you're painting more Tyranids, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm big Tyranid hype at the moment.
Yeah.
I want to get much more. I've got the Democarian, which I need to build to use as a third Norn. I've got fuckloads of gaunts to do. So many.
Thank you, Rossonero, for one more, and thank you, Evan, for one more. You're a legend.
Run triple Defile Ever Children. I would, if the two Defiers I had actually had bases, and if I had a third one built and painted.
Jesus fucking Christ, Roland.
Roland.
Keep saying you're hungry, Joe.
Thank you. I am starving.
He says for second lunch.
My stomach does hurt a bit. But
that's insane, buddy. Thank you for $200. You're an absolute legend.
I also bought my wish earlier is that there was a carrot cake at the co-op. One of the luxury co-op carrot cakes for £1 on the till. Is
that what's up there?
Yeah.
You bought it? Okay, good.
You can't let a £1 carrot cake go.
You can't, no.
Just go.
It'd be a criminal shame.
Yeah, like looking at the new edition, I've got loads of fists I want to add. I need to go. I messaged the guy on Instagram, Scumbag, where's Scum 4 bag or whatever, customs. He makes custom transfer sheets.
Okay, that's cool.
So he does Celestial Lions one, so I need to get him to do the other ones for the Imperial Fist, so I can do a bunch of units for them. But no, big Tyranid hype at the moment. I want to get some Pyrovores. I've got 70 Hormagaunts now. I've painted 20. So I've got 50 more to go. Exciting. I need to get 10 more Gene Stealers because then I've got 30 of the new ones.
I do love I do genuinely love it when you're on a Tyranid high.
I fucking love Tyranids. I've got 2 flying hive tyrants to build at home. I just want them to look different. I want them to look cool.
There was a mini event played at Hobby House on Saturday with Paddy and some friends, and they were allowing the new Crucible Champions rules.
Oh,
and a guy turned up with a winged Carnifex.
Really? Oh, I like that.
Fucking cool as shit.
Because I'm so excited for the Red Terror.
Yeah.
I think I want 2 of those kill teams because then I can make a Trigon Prime out of the spare one. And then obviously I've got 2 units for the new guard as well. I just need to find. I want to make some cool. I've never made a cool big Tyranid. If I can get hold of one, they're rarer than Rocking Horse Poo. The old Forge World winged hive tyrants.
I don't remember what they look like.
They were because they were released in 5th, 6th edition, where Games Workshop was kind of trying to push Tyranids. It looked like an alien queen.
Okay.
From Aliens.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Thank you for those extra members, chat. We did get to 65, which is insane. Roland, he's gifted $200 in super chats, Jay, which is mad kind. Thank you so much. Maybe. I guess I have to buy you some lunch now. Definitely, because he's spent $200.
Oh, my fancy Chinese order.
Chinese chicken curry and chips. Yeah, I can order you Chinese if that's what you want.
I had the weirdest dream the other night.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right, I told Josh this one, and he was like, "That's a dream." Right. Yeah,
this has got to be worth 35 gifted,
like,
chat.
I would describe it as a sexy dream because that didn't happen. You know when you have a dream and you just find yourself in a place from a random time in history. So I was looking for a room in my house, but my house when I was a child, right? And my partner in the bed, right? Got the blanket, blanket over the face, right? Turn around, lock the door, pull blanket over. It's John Cena. John Cena. I was like, damn it, John Cena, what are you doing here?
So
my partner transformed into John Cena.
So you had a dream where John Cena was in your bed?
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
But it was like a trick. So 1 minute as my partner, reveal John Cena. So weird. What does that mean? I know what we think it means. But
Do dreams have to mean something?
I hope not. I hope not.
Just why have I got her in time to hear the story a second time?
But like, it was so weird. Like, I once had a dream I was best friends with Jackie Chan. I'd not watched anything Jackie Chan related in like 20 years.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he was infiltrating you, going, Joe, why aren't you watching me?
Why haven't you watched Rush Hour 3? You know,
1 minute is your partner, next minute nobody's there.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a fucking great comment. 100% Death Guard brought me back. Saw it in the window about a week after it came out. That was 8th edition, wasn't it? It was Death Guard versus Space Marines.
Yeah.
The new Death Guard stuff. Well, newish Death Guard stuff. Right. You people are wonderful. We have got to 3 o'clock. You have slowed down in chat. I'm not ungrateful. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for Roland. Thank you so much. We did get to 65 members, which means Joe and Andy have only got to do 135 tonight. And if they don't do 135, I'll hold Andy personally responsible. And he wants a rematch next Thursday or the Thursday after of our Beachhead game from ages ago live on air. He keeps saying I've been avoiding him. Yeah, I have. Not because of the game, though. So if he gets to 135 members, Andy, you can play me in a week.
I haven't watched the new Peacemaker series.
Maybe not.
I think did you see the footage of Alan Richardson beating up his neighbour, the guy who plays Reacher? And obviously, there was footage that was revealed that was filmed by a neighbour of him just battering this guy.
Okay.
Right. But you don't see what happened, right? And this guy's trying to, and then obviously it turned out that he had a GoPro on his chest when he was riding on his. Basically, his neighbour just walked out to the street, pushed him on his bike, tried to get back on his bike, pushed him off again, tried to get back on his bike, pushed him off again, and they beat him up. But why this guy would thought it'd be a smart idea to start a fight with like a 6'8" bodybuilder giant. Anyway, but someone had made an AI trailer, like a film trailer for this fight, as if it was like a Hollywood film, and they're filming, and it cuts to the neighbor filming that it's just John Cena. I think that's why we did it.
Right. Okay.
I've had time to think about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was
Okay.
it.
Andy says, "How about every time we get 10 memberships, one of my Kitans gets a wound back?"
I don't know, I think they run out pretty quickly. So I'm going to kill them all.
There we go.
Just
Right.
kill them all. Dead.
We've heard about Joe's weird dream about sleeping with John Cena.
I didn't have sex with him.
Well,
He was just there.
I mean,
I was
you
like, what are you
finished the
doing?
dream, did you say, just saying, why else would you want him in your bed in a dream when you lock the door behind you?
But he just likes to surprise you, doesn't he?
Does he?
Like,
Does he?
bam. Although what I find weird about, because him and Randy Orton are very similar. He's like RKO out of nowhere.
Mm.
But his job is being invisible and then very visible very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to spoil this for you. He's never actually invisible.
We know that. Like we know that wrestling's not real, but we just enjoy it, you know. What am I running tonight? I'm running Raven Guard now.
What were you going to run before?
I was going to run Emperor's Children, but
Okay.
Emperor's Children cannot hurt Catan.
They can. Jeff, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank
what a
you, Jeff.
legend.
I hope you get to spend a wonderful evening with Jet from Gladiators.
I misread and said, Jeff, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Jet. You're a legend. Thank you, Joe, for picking me up on that one.
You just can't hurt them, especially when there's more than one. Because the list we'd originally received had no Catan in it. I was very happy to run Emperor's Children.
Okay.
But now there's more than one. So,
Beautiful.
Raven Guard.
Wonderful. Right, you guys are amazing. Hopefully you come tonight and watch Raven Guard versus Necrons with Mr. Andy. We are on 70 gifted. You guys are insane. If you can get 130 tonight, that'd be amazing. I love you very, very dearly. Tomorrow I'm back at 7:30 for the Warhammer show. And we can talk about all things 10th edition rules they might have released by that point. Thursday is another Liam and Joe show, building some models at the table and a live game of Warhammer in the evening. Paddy's back in the studio. And Friday we come back with After Dark. I think that covers it all. You happy, Joe?
Well, as happy as I can be.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. You're all amazing human beings. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you haven't smashed that like button, please make sure you do that for us. You're amazing humans. Hopefully we'll see you tonight at 7:30 for the live game of Warhammer 40k. If not, we'll see you in the next one.
I was just reading, if you're in London, apparently Pardo from... Why have you put SN?
It might be text to speak, mate.
Oh.
But he's at Bad Moon, tonight.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.